Hey everyone, in this video, we're going to give you some updates happening over at DigitalBGA. So we're going to talk about some brand new lead types, 2 new lead types to be exact, and just talk about our 4 lead options that we have because a lot has changed recently. We're going to go and recognize our top 10 independent agents for September in production. You'll see how much they wrote. We're going to talk a little bit about kind of what leads they work and maybe a little bit about them. And we'll go over DigitalBGA's total September production. This is a number we have never talked about before. We've never released, not even internally. Okay, we don't talk about these numbers. And I'll give you the reason why when I go over those numbers. And we'll also talk about our live event coming up in a few weeks in October. All right, so let's start with these lead types. Okay, so DigitalBGA has 4 lead types currently. Okay, we have TV call-ins, we have web call-ins, which are brand new as of the last 30 days. We have third-party vendor Facebook leads, and we're introducing a Facebook and TikTok custom campaign where we generate those leads for you in your ad account. I'll cover all of those right now. Okay, so our core lead is our TV call-ins. It's what we built our 2 call centers around. And we do everything. We, get the actors together, put together the scripts, the concepts, we edit it, and we run the media across the nation. So we do over-the-top streaming services, broadcast TV, all of it. And so we do this, though, in a way that's different. And when I say it's different, not many agencies have been able to make TV calls work. They may have had it for a little bit, but then they fail. And the reason is the cost per lead gets pretty high. So we built this thing called Insurance Calls Direct. Okay, it's a piece of technology. It's really the secret weapon that we have to make TV leads work and even web call-ins. I'm going to touch on that next, these brand new leads. Okay, so in most call platforms, you have to press 1 to answer a call, or you have to accept a call. In our platform, we force a call. So when you toggle on this enter queue, this will toggle on, you're in the queue, okay? And you're either gonna get a TV call or if you have 2 orders going on, a web call or TV call, you'll get whatever comes in first, right? And when you do that, when you're connected, you're gonna hear a beep and then somebody's immediately on the phone with you. And we do that, by doing that, we get our pickup rates are much higher, which brings down our cost per lead, okay? That was a huge issue we saw in getting calls is the answer rate. And so the seconds that we shave off of somebody answering, it makes a huge difference. So our media costs the same as everybody else, but we're answering more calls. So our cost per lead comes down because of this. So when somebody calls into one of our TV commercials or even in our web call-ins, they'll call, it'll ring maybe once. They're not going to get an IVR that says, hey, hold while, until we can get a hold of somebody. It's going to immediately connect them with somebody. So think about just calling into a TV commercial. You're expecting to be on hold, go through an IVR or something, but really you're on with a live person probably within 3 seconds. That's how quick it is. And it catches people by surprise. They're not, when they called in, they still have that on their mind. Their mind didn't wander elsewhere while waiting for you. We've just seen better sales rates. We're connecting more calls, and it's how we're able to make this work. It's because of this little small tweak in this technology, okay? Also, the missed calls, the calls that we do miss because everybody's on calls, or a call came in from a state that nobody was licensed in that was available, we distribute those as leads through this platform. So it immediately goes to a CRM as a missed call lead and somebody will call them back, okay? That waste before, that was waste. People weren't doing anything with those missed calls. And we're able to turn, and those are very good leads, we're able to turn those into sales, call somebody back, hey, sorry we missed your call. And we make a lot of sales through that as well. And we also use a lot of AI to handle those missed call leads as well, which I'll talk about in a different video. Anyway, that's how we're able to make TV calls work. It's the technology behind DigitalBGA that keeps us in the game with TV calls and keeps agents profitable, okay? Web call-ins. So this is brand new. And we introduced web call-ins because TV leads are getting expensive. I should say more expensive than they were. And a lot of agents can't stomach the price of a TV lead. It's variable, so I'm not going to tell you the price here because it could be different by the time you're watching this video, okay? So we introduced web call-ins. So these are calls from Facebook, YouTube, Google, TikTok, and they see an ad and they call in. It's a consumer-initiated inbound call. We charge $40 for one of these calls, and it has a 75-second buffer, meaning if the call doesn't last 75 seconds, you are not charged for this call, okay? You can't get that price anywhere, okay? I've seen them as low as $45. Most are $50 to $55. And how we're able to do this, and this is the difference maker in our web call-in lead, is another piece of technology that we developed. It's a pinging technology, okay? So what happens is when you log in, when you enter the queue, you toggle this on, you're ready for a call, it puts you in a queue, and it sends out a ping. And our publishers that are sending us calls are zooming calls past our ping. Do you have anybody available in Texas, in Vermont, in Florida? And if somebody's available, it delivers that call right away. So agents are getting calls within minutes, usually within a couple minutes, with our web call-ins, because we don't have to manage call volume. And that was key with this new piece of technology we developed that we launched about a month ago, and how we're using it for web calls. So you can take 20 plus web calls a day easily, okay? And these are closing at around over 15%. So our tenured agents that have been with us for a while, that are taking leads every day, we tag them in our system, we look at their sales rates, their average is over 15%. So on a $40 call, that's an average acquisition cost of average of $280. So, nobody wants to be average. The goal is to be better than average. So you can get your acquisition costs down to under $200 with these over time if you really master this lead and get volume with these web calls, okay? This is an exciting new development at DigitalBGA. We've been focused on inbound TV calls. Now we have these web calls, and they're just flying in. You just click this toggle on, you're gonna have a call within a few minutes, okay? All right, so those are our web calls. And I talk about the technology because people are asking, like, how do you get these calls so cheap? How are you facilitating all this? Because you have to manage call queues. It's all in this technology, and that is kind of the underlying thing, the underlying secret weapon that DigitalBGA has is this technology that we've built, and we continue to optimize. We see that pickup rates are low, so okay, what can we do? Auto connect calls. Let's try it. It worked. Okay. There's all these sorts of things that we're doing to make our leads cheaper and give a better user experience. Connecting calls quickly, for example. All right. Okay. So the third lead we have is a third-party vendor that generates Facebook leads for us. So you can buy leads as low as like 30 in a batch up to I think like 100, and you put your photo on the lead. They put your photo, your phone number, and your name, and about 10% of the people who fill out a form are going to call you, okay? And as soon as a lead comes through, it posts to your CRM. So we have an integration with this lead company, and you order through their website, and you just put a couple things in your CRM, your identifying keys, and they'll post to the CRM as soon as a lead comes in. So all the text automations, email automations, goes in your dialer, all that stuff happens, and 10% of those leads will call you based on the data that we're seeing, okay? However, volume kind of slowed down this past month with that lead vendor, so it kind of forced our hand to introduce our fourth lead type, which is Facebook and TikTok custom campaigns. So what we're gonna do is build out your Facebook or TikTok ad account, load it up with ads, ad copy. We'll show you'll have feedback on what you want to be said, what you don't want to say, and it's going to send to a landing page, right? That we'll build, and that landing page will have the Facebook tracking pixels. We'll connect everything there. That landing page will have this really beautiful quote form, okay? And we'll show this probably in a month or so after we launch this on YouTube. But they'll fill out a form on a landing page. So we're taking them off of Facebook onto a landing page. Okay, it's its own experience, And when they fill out that form, it's going to show them a health profile questionnaire, right? We were going to show rates. Agent said, no, we don't want rates. We'd rather have health profile information. Cool. So that's what we did. We're building that out. It's going to have your photo, your name, your phone number, a little blurb about, hey, to expedite the process of getting you a quote, just need to complete this health profile. You can call me at this phone number or fill out this form below, and it goes directly to me. Only I see this information. And so what happens is that goes to our CRM, okay? And you get the lead immediately. But if they fill out that health profile, it gets attached to the lead. And in your lead queue, something's going to highlight on that lead so you know that there's a health profile attached. So you know as you're calling your leads, number one, this is a high quality lead. They filled out their medications. They filled out all this information. We even ask some cross-selling questions here, like if they'd be interested in hearing about a plan that would pay them out with cancer, heart attack, and stroke, all that stuff in this profile, okay? And it's all happens automatically. You don't do anything, okay? Most agencies out there, if you have somebody optimizing your Facebook ads, your TikTok ads or whatever, you're gonna pay them 20% of your ad spend. So if you spend $2,000 a month in ad spend, you're gonna pay them $400, right? Some agencies will just charge you a flat $500 a month. We are not charging you anything for this. DigitalBGA has people on staff. We have a marketing team. We have someone who will handle this, and we'll have some assistance as this grows for this person. And we have the software set up to be able to handle this, and we're ready to go. And we're doing this at no cost to you. So you're getting leads at cost. Imagine going through that process and generating a lead for $8, $9, $10, and going through that very unique process, getting phone calls, getting pre-qualification, getting health profiles or pre-qualification questionnaires. Okay, that is what's coming. We're launching at the mastermind in a few weeks. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But those are the 4 lead types at DigitalBGA. Okay, we're super excited about them. And yeah, so let's talk about and recognize our top 10 agents of September. Okay, we haven't done that on YouTube for a long time. So this is all independent agent production, doesn't count call centers or any other agencies that we help. Okay. Jennifer B, $60,000 of annual premium. Okay, she's typically in our top 3. She was number 1 last month. She was one of our YouTube interviews. If you go back a couple months, and you'll see her there, and you'll know exactly how she does this month in and month out. Okay, it's she's very good at what she does, and I highly recommend you watch that interview with her. Because she crushes it. Every month, she's top 3. Okay, she's number 1. She took the number 1 spot this month. Okay, and she works Facebook leads, going to a landing page. What I just talked about, what the leads she generates for herself, we're going to be generating for other agents as well. Okay. Okay. Second is Muhammad. So Muhammad generates his own leads. He did $59,000 of final expense. Michael W. So Michael is a term agent, and he works with influencers. Who post on social media about life insurance, and he fields all the requests. Okay, Daniel K works our TV leads. Benjamin E. So you've seen Ben on a lot of our YouTube videos. Okay, he wrote $40,000 in business last month, and he takes TV calls and now web calls as well. He works a combination of them. Danny Ray. Danny's behind LifeTelesalesMentor.com. He teaches a class on telesales. You can go there if you want to look at it. He did $38,000, but that's just his production. His wife, I think, probably did. She's usually writing 20 grand plus every month as well. So they're a husband and wife team, but that's just Danny's production last month. Okay, so he works Facebook leads as well. So Keith I, he works our TV leads, 33,000. He was also an interview, so you can look him up as well. Did an interview with him. He's got he has his own way of selling. He took all the training, made it his own, figured out a few things, and has made it work. Bennett B. So Bennett's a term agent, generates his own leads. Chad H. has been a long-time final expense agent, making the transition to TELESALES, working our platforms, and then Pat H. also works our leads as well. All right, so that's our top 10, and now I'm going to talk about DigitalBGA's total production for September. It's a number that we haven't released before. And it's not any, and the reason we don't release these numbers isn't, we're not trying to hide anything. It's more because when you release numbers, you're doing it to, really you want eyeballs on yourself, right? And we'd rather earn those eyeballs with value that we provide, right? That's why you'll hear me talking about leads. That's why when you look at our YouTube channel, it's 90% plus training, how to make you better. We want to earn your business, okay? So that's our go-to-market strategy. And yes, we have, we want to recognize agents, so we put our, leaderboards out. But as far as, putting our total sales, it's something we just don't think to publish, okay? Because it's not how we decided to market. But we will right now, because I want to display, the scope of what we're building here and formulate the explanation around that. So last month, guys, in September, we processed 5,161 life insurance applications for almost $5.5 million of annual premium, okay? Total enforced last month in September was 3,459 for $4.1 million in life insurance production. And that is a combination of independent life insurance agents, it's our 2 call centers, and it is our agency owners. So a lot of agencies leverage DigitalBGA as their upline because of a lot of the data we give them, a lot of the technology that they have access to, and just the insights. And I want to show this number because it tells a story, okay? That 5,161 cases just in September gives us a lot of data. And that's the most important part here. And that's how DigitalBGA runs, okay? We are data focused. We have business analysts on staff that slice and dice this data for us so that we can make the most efficient decisions on, okay, like placement rates, okay? What carriers have the best placement rate? What carriers, what leads have the best placement rate? We can make decisions off all this. We combine our sales data with our carrier data, with our annual premium data, and we're able to see all of that. And so we get these little nuggets of information that we can sort of exploit. And that's how we're generating. I talked about some of the technology for the leads before. That's how we're generating really quality leads for agents. And we know we're generating quality leads because we see the sales data, we see the placement data, we see the persistency. We know what carriers to avoid. We know what carriers are working. Okay, there are carriers out there that a lot of agents are writing that have terrible persistency because they can't freaking bill. Okay, there are carriers out there that a lot of agents like that will rescind a policy right before the 2-year contestability period because they're going to check an MIB report again. Okay, there's a lot of, and so we factor that all in. And so when we tell agents these are the carriers you write, it's based on data, not based on because this carrier pays 100 and something points in comp, or because my upline tells me this, right? We have direct contracts with every carrier and we earn them because of our production, okay? There's a couple where we don't have direct contracts. They only work with a couple IMOs, but if you can get a direct contract, we have them and we're able to get data from them and work closely with them. And it's important. It makes everybody better to see that data, to have all the systems talking, to have the data there, to know what to do, to know what carriers are struggling right now, whose processing times are long, how long contracting is even taking for carriers. We have all that data at our fingertips because we process so many applications. And it's really important because that's how we optimize the business. That's how we make, DigitalBGA agents are efficient. They're working the best set of carriers that they can right now that are going to place the most policies. They're working the best set of leads that we can find, that our data is telling us, hey, these sales rates, they're working. All that combined leads to an engine that's just pushing forward. And we have a lot of big plans in 2025. We're going to release some technology that will blow some minds. It's been in the, we've been spending a ton of money on it for the past 5 months. It'll be ready in another probably 3 or 4 months to test. And it's going to make agents a lot more profitable. Okay. We're giving agents data like on their placement rates where, they can see their initial premium return. If some, have a whole list of all their carriers combined in one place, like just the organization of it all. And we do that because we have so much data and we need to organize it and make it actionable through reporting. And that's what we've done with all this. So anyway, all that to say that we're growing, and hopefully, if you guys want to see these numbers more often, let us know in the comments, and maybe we'll share them more often, and it'll keep us accountable to keep growing, because we don't want to see this number go down. And but really, I wanted to tell a story behind it and what we're building, because we're processing so much data. It's a data play. We're getting a lot of insights, and that's how we're doing really well, and agents are doing really well with this. Okay. Last thing here is I want to talk about our DigitalBGA Mastermind. Okay. There's a few things here. It's an event on October 24th in Austin. Got a bunch of carriers lined up that are sponsoring, going to bring us some t-shirts, got an amazing set of speakers. They're going to talk about what they're doing in the trenches, what they are doing to be successful. Okay. There's another YouTuber out there, Peter Roberts and Micah. Like, their agency is going to talk about their LOA program and the insights and data that they have. They built a wildly successful remote LOA program, and they're going to give you data that is going to be very actionable. Okay, I'm going to speak, but you guys hear me talk on YouTube all the time. My partner Nick is going to speak. Dante, our other partner, is going to speak as well. Really, really amazing presentations. We have some agents going to talk about cross-selling some products. So quick 15-minute presentations on, the 1 or 2 questions you can ask in a presentation to see if they're a prospect for this cross-sell product. They're going to talk about the product to sell and how to sell the product. So quick 15-minute rapid fire, a few agents doing that, and some stuff you can cross-sell. We have 2 outside speakers. Okay, a friend of mine, he runs an acting school in Austin, Texas. He's going to talk about connecting. The first 2 months of acting school for him, they're teaching about connecting, because actors are just like agents. They're being shoved in a place that's just not, you're not used to. It's foreign, right? When they're shoved onto a set, they're given a script. We're given a script. We're having conversations that are uncomfortable because they're not the words we typically use. It's not what we're saying every day, right? But you have to connect with the other person. And he's got an amazing, amazing training on how to connect with people. Really cool insights here. And I can't wait for you guys to hear. He said, like, many actors that leave his class say that just that section has changed their life in general, not just on the phones or acting, right? It's just that. So I'm really pumped he's going to talk about that. We have an organizational psychologist that's a Harvard faculty member going to talk about getting through the ups and downs of the business, also about active listening. She has a little bit, she trains on that as well. So a couple outside people gonna talk at the mastermind, but if you haven't signed up and you're a DigitalBGA agent, there's a few spots left. It's October 24th in Austin, Texas, and can't wait to see you there. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed these updates, let me know if you want to see those production numbers still. If not, we'll still fly stealth, and maybe in a year or 2 we'll come out and we'll see where we're at. But in the grand scheme of things, we just want to grow a very profitable business for agents. And everything we do, every app we process, we learn something from, we get data from, and it feeds our knowledge base. And it gives us this specific information that you can't get unless you have the data. We have the data. We're making the decisions, and big things ahead for DigitalBGA. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you next week.